Before I started doing VR gaming, I really didn't, wasn't familiar with going out and meeting CEOs and presidents and things like that. And so I went to an event, I think it was the AW, I think it was the Augmented World Expo, back a few years ago, and somebody said I could try this game, this really cool game. And it was a very cool game, and I enjoyed it. And so then they were asking me questions about it, and I was giving them all sorts of feedback. I was like, this is good, and I don't like this, and this is the greatest thing, and oh, wow, and there's this other game that's kind of like, and I compared it to that, and just gave them the whole rundown of everything I thought about the game. And then I was like, and what do you do? And so I've learned since then that probably you should ask that question first. But it happened to be Finn. I don't know if you remember that encounter. Probably so, yeah. But now I have the pleasure of introducing him and Jonathan Nowak Delgado from Spree Interactive. They are going to chat with you guys today about immersive social experiences and XR games. So we'll have about 5 minutes for questions at the end. So I'll be up here waving to give them a sign that that time's about ready. And I hope you guys enjoy their chat with you today. Come on, guys.
So, thanks a lot. Yeah, actually, I think we are mic'd up, right? So
yeah, let's just have a seat.
Okay, cool.
More casual.
So, actually, I'm here together with Finn. Finn is the CEO and founder of Chicken Waffles, and we have the pleasure to speak together on social XR games. And yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to kick it off with a couple of videos from Spree Interactive, and then we can casually talk about what we're all up to. So Spree Interactive, as you can see here, it's a location-based platform, per definition social. So what we've seen is that obviously human beings want to have this connection, want to know that behind the avatar there's another real person. And what we've been looking at is how can we solve an emerging issue now even more so accelerated with COVID, which many locations face with retailers going bankrupt. So basically fill the void of premier locations and the desire from human beings really to, after the lockdown, come back together and have fun. And we do this for entertainment, however, also for education and for sports. And most importantly, we do that profitably for both the content creators as well as the location operators. So let's see. So Spree Interactive has two main products. One is the Spree Arena. It's a free roam platform where basically up to 20, sometimes even 40 people can interact in real time and have a joint experience. And it's by far the industry's higher user throughput. So there's no other single virtual reality attraction which can cater more users at the same time. And why is that important? Because we're selling to shopping malls, to trampoline parks, to theme parks, and they all obviously want to sell tickets. So the more user throughput you can provide per minute, per square meter, the more profitable it is. So that has been, let's say, the design factor from the very beginning. And obviously we want to create awesome experiences. However, in order to be sustainable, they also need to make, let's say, money. So I don't know whether we're going to have some sound here. to an operator who can then subscribe to different content subscriptions and content types in order to cater the different audiences within one day, but also within the week and within the year. So that means in the morning could be school classes, they want to have more educational content. In the afternoon, it's perhaps the kids who are out of school that want to have cool gaming experiences. And in the evening, perhaps team building exercise. And all within one platform. And if we look at the different content categories we've been building so far, we started with a family-friendly content where we are by far the world leader. So that means if you're a trampoline park and you think, hey, I need to upgrade my attractions anywhere, you will think about Spree Interactive. So there we have already, let's say, 8 games, education and edutainment. We just entered last year. However, in high demand, we entered the science museums market there. However, also family entertainment centers, they appreciate to offer educational experience. And esports, virtual reality esports, obviously it's very attractive for the repeat play of it. So a key aspect is the number of plays per week. So there we have 3,500. You can multiply that roughly with €5 or dollars, and then you get to the revenue generated per location per week. And our goal here at the AWE is, besides raising awareness for this emerging content platform and building collaborations with content developers, and specifically also talk to expansion partners who have real estate or investors who believe in that platform. However, for sure, we don't want to be the bottleneck for the creativity. That's why we built up this SDK, which is available for Unity. And we encourage, and we have already started to build relationships with some of the best content studios like Pixomondo, who a Hollywood studio which did special effects for Game of Thrones. And we're going to continue doing so. So here, just to give you a quick impression of what Mission to Mars looks like.
Interesse an einer Reise zum Mars? Dank des Galileo Mission to Mars Virtual Reality Spiels kann schon jetzt jeder erleben, wie es sich anfühlt, auf dem roten Planeten zu leben und zu arbeiten. Wir haben Passanten auf den Mars eingeladen, in einem Einkaufscenter. Möglich macht es die Virtual Reality Technik. Von außen betrachtet ein leerer, langweiliger Raum. Aber ein Blick durch die Brille versetzt die Spieler hierhin, auf eine Raumstation. Durch Kopfbewegungen lassen sich verschiedene Aktionen ausführen. Und Spieler können sich durch Herumlaufen auch im virtuellen Raum bewegen. Das Besondere? Ein Computeralgorithmus berechnet die Position der Personen und zeigt auch die anderen Spieler als Astronauten an. So können bis zu 10 Personen zusammenspielen. Die Simulation stellt die Marsreisenden vor knifflige Aufgaben, wie zum Beispiel die Wasserversorgung sicherstellen, und vermittelt Wissen über die Raumfahrt. Und brenzlig wird's auch. Und wie war's?
Man hat sich echt so gefühlt, als wäre man jetzt da drinnen. Also top. Das war echt cool.
Man ist zu anderen gelaufen, aber hat die dann in real auch berührt. Aber gesehen hat man nur den Astronauten und das war irgendwie faszinierend. Ja.
Die Effekte waren super und auch einfach das alles mal so zu sehen. So hat man ja nie die Möglichkeit eigentlich, sowas mal wahrzunehmen. Und es war echt schön.
Wer jetzt Lust bekommen hat, das Galileo Mission to Mars Virtual Reality Spiel eröffnet demnächst in München.
Exclusive access to the Einstein IP through one of our investors, and we're going to launch a series of edutainment games around the Einstein IP. Einstein explaining you different things around the world. if you want to have fun with a group of friends, basically your option is to book 1 or 2 hours because you're really getting hooked. You really want to beat the others. There's quite a different game mode to play, and this, just to wrap it up, this is our second platform besides the video with world's first VR bumper car upgrade. Bumper cars are a company. They have sold 4,000 bumper cars globally. Half of them are indoor, are eligible for our upgrade. And actually, customer base in Denmark is car. Justify the new media. And just next week in Orlando, we're gonna show both attractions, the free roam platform as well the VR bumper car. And this we're gonna start selling from early next year, also targeting the American FECs, which have this roundish bumper car where you can spin. Good, so that was a little introduction from my side. In any case, yeah, I'm happy to answer any of your questions. And now I would like to give Finn the chance to present chicken waffles.
Yeah, you want to go to the next slide? Just a holding slide. All right, so hey, Finn here from Chicken Waffle. Originally put this talk together. I was going to be giving an overview on some of the design elements and deep dives into some of the best practices, as well as talk about some of the case studies of a lot of the content we've done. Jonathan reached out and said, hey, you know, I'd love to join you on there. And as we're working on some really cool stuff that'll be announced in the future, I thought it would be an interesting opportunity for him to be able to get up and talk about some of the foundational elements that are bringing this to this. Chicken Waffle is a game development studio in Austin, Texas. We've been doing a lot of AR and VR content for years now. Myself, I'm also the co-founder and was CTO of WaveXR, which is a virtual reality music performance experience. And my background in game development, years in MMOs and other kind of content development, but we've been noodling in XR since, I don't know, 2010, 2011, you know, just kind of skunk works of the API, written a lot of the white papers, and you know, just kind of have in my career just tried to, as we develop things or improve on SDKs or build example projects, to send it back to the hardware creators and the larger conglomerates, because they're not necessarily as agile as the indie, and it kind of puts us in the, you know, as developers, we have the responsibility to innovate and create and then give that stuff back, give, you know, these API improvements or these cutting edge experiences as example projects. These things are crucial, especially as we move into like wearable tech and smart glasses. These things, you know, we can't have walled gardens. We have to build things and move quickly, and only indies can really function that way because the larger companies, you know, have to have meetings about everything, meetings about meetings, right? And so Chicken Waffle, we've built a handful of our own original IP, won some cool awards. It's been amazing journey working with some really amazing people. And then we've kind of functioned dually as both a content creator and publisher, as well as a work for hire studio. So we've built 69 immersive experiences for different clients and partners like Disney and Exxon and Tesla and Red Bull and Adult Swim and just a whole bunch of cool content. We have a booth here. My slide deck got stomped, so I'm just going to talk. You know, we're going to have a big booth at the AWA Playground tomorrow and the next day. So feel free to come by and check it out. We're going to have some mixed reality and some other really cool stuff going on. We also built an augmented reality web AR scavenger hunt around the event. So there's 10 locations that if you if you find all locations, then you get an exclusive NFT. Ooh. And so all the buzzwords, you know, and so that's been a lot of fun. We've been doing a lot of these AR activations, which is, and especially like with web AR, web VR, that's really, if we look at like where things are going, you know, there's, the future is Web3. You know, it's this notion that there's an overarching connectivity of a lot of the major utilities and websites and things like this that you're going to go. You're already starting to see it, you know, you go to something and it's connect with Facebook or connect with Google, you know what I mean? And you can like connect with another login system to auto-create your profile. Those are kind of the first things that we're seeing for this notion of a Web3 platform, which is like an interconnected internet of all the different things. And so there's these APIs that become more modular and we can interconnect all these different things. If you look at the way like NFT marketplaces use MetaMask, well, now we're starting other things. There's Coinbase wallet. There's these other wallets that essentially you have to integrate, and we have to, as developers, we have to consider the content we're building to build it modularly so that once these new APIs come on board, so we can connect MetaMask and these other like, you know, cryptocurrency wallets, that we don't have to tear down our castle. We can essentially implement these foundational bricks into the wall. And that's really important with what we've been building. So we built this new platform called XR Swim. XR Swim is what we're calling it is the future market, or the marketplace for the future of wearable tech. And so it's essentially like Steam or Oculus, but with WebXR, and you can use smart glasses or any device with a browser, you know, VR headsets, mobile phones, Mac, PC, whatever, to jump into this, you know, this immersive marketplace. And as we've been building this and working with a slew of different, you know, WebXR developers, we've seen, for one, the hurdle that everybody paints on their own canvas, but we've seen the hurdles that a lot of developers come to, and as we've, you know, jumped over, that you know, production and publishing is essentially two different beasts, but they have to come together. And with a lot of indie developers, you know, you'll find indie developers searching out VC or investments, and typically the reason that they're even trying to find investments is that they need to bring on more people that can do other verticals that maybe their team doesn't solve, but they have the ability to do what they do really well, but they're trying to expand because they don't have heavy lifting multiplayer engineering or leaderboards or these other things. And so we just announced the Indie XR Creator Fund, which is dedicated to publishing and providing support for innovative creators and indie developers, people building gamified, immersive NFT projects, and provide both funding as well as like heavy lifting on the engineering or publishing side or production side. And it's been really interesting. We already have 5 partnerships well underway. We just announced Cowbots and Aliens, which was a really fun game, still very popular, but never got out of early access and kind of hadn't been touched since 2016. And so that was one of those games where they had a really interesting notion, but they didn't have the ability to keep going because they're essentially still a strong mobile development house, but they didn't have any VR capabilities. So we took on full production of that title, and we're launching on PlayStation VR and Quest and, you know, the full gamut. And we just announced yesterday that Baby Hands, our virtual reality baby simulator, is launching on PlayStation VR on Thanksgiving Day. So that's a big one. And yeah, and so whenever we look at, you know, where this industry is going and where we fit in, I've always tried to live my life of, if you have the capability of helping, then you have the responsibility. And so that goes, of course, everything from stepping over a piece of trash, you should pick it up and throw it away. But it also has to do with interjecting yourself and your team's, you know, ethos into, you know, getting involved in public schools or college programs, helping mentor or fund, of course, but even just mentoring a high school technology program can cause all the difference in the world. And there's really nothing more rewarding. Don't get me wrong, large sacks of money are very rewarding, but nothing's better than helping the next generation of forward-thinking people. And so that's one thing that I feel is going to continue with our mission statement, is just helping the community grow, helping give as much of our API and our content development into the open source, community involvement as possible, working with teams like Spree to build really cool immersive content that's fun for social. And if you haven't had a chance to jump into some of our content, we also build a lot of really amazing content in these social immersive platforms like Altspace VR, VR Chat, Somnium, Sanzar, you name it, CryptoVoxels, Decentraland. We're kind of multiverse agnostic, you know what I mean? Where we try to build for a lot of different platforms as well as, standing up our own. And so tonight and tomorrow night, we're going to be doing the virtual happy hours. So we have some really cool immersive nightclubs and other experiences that we'll be shepherding people through. So if you haven't had a chance to see some of our immersive social content, feel free to jump into our booth. And then tonight in the mixer, we'll also have VR headsets, and we'll be cycling people through. But our goal with a lot of stuff, and especially as we're finding more and more people are getting into more and more of these industries are realizing that they need to be in this space, right? Especially now with the NFT boom of artists that are maybe more traditional artists, or maybe they're digital artists, but they're not necessarily programmers. So one of the things that we've been working on that's very exciting about XR Swim is a dashboard for creating immersive content. So essentially similar to when you set up a YouTube video and you're setting up the metadata, or if you're building a WordPress site, these templated, easy to use, non-engineering required experiences that empower educators and marketing individuals, or people with designers or writers, people that have a really strong idea but don't have the engineering capability, but maybe they're a really talented artist, or they have a really strong vision for their educational content, but the execution of it is typically the problem. We've had hundreds of people that have reached out and wanted to hire us, but they have a really strong vision, a great audience to push it to, everything that they need except for the large sack of money that it takes to hire an engineering team to build out your content. So we're building this really awesome, robust, and user-friendly dashboard for the average internet user to be able to create, customize, and publish immersive XR experiences. And I think that's going to be really the future of this marketplace, is just as we're seeing TikTok and Instagram really proliferate the user-generated content and the video side, we're going to see immersive content, augmented reality content, geolocation, scavenger hunts, educational content that immerses users and students. This is going to proliferate, and every major product, almost every major business is going to have an augmented reality component within a handful of years as smart glasses become to, again, proliferate the marketplace. So that's our goal. We have some really cool content we're going to be showing off. And lastly, we just were excited to announce last week we went public with a sector of our stock on Start Engine. So if you go to startengine.com/chickenwafflevr, there's a new legislation in the United States that just got passed that allows companies to go public with a certain sector of up to $5 million worth of their stock. And so we just went public on that platform, and you can trade and purchase a slice of chicken waffle, you know what I mean? And I leave you with that. The biggest thing we can do as a community is help others. And so that's a big portion of what our goal is, not just to, of course, achieve the verticals that we're doing. We're working on a huge unannounced title with an extremely popular IP that we can't wait to showcase. But if there's anything I can do for any of you, or if there's any way that Chicken Waffle as a pipeline fits into what you're doing and you could really use our expertise, please don't hesitate to ask. I'd love to shine a flashlight down that dark hallway. And thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you coming out, and come check out our cool booth and get some cool swag. Okay, good? All right. You want to
Are
have
there
some?
any
I
questions?
thought I yammered too long to have any questions. We'd love to take some questions if
Yeah.
there's anybody that has any questions. Yeah, shoot. Feel free to go up to the microphone there and.
What's your outlook on the future for OpenXR as an interoperability kind of solution?
Yeah, so the future of OpenXR, that's a great question. You know, you're seeing companies like Spree announcing their API for third-party developers. We're also, you know, pushing that out. OpenXR is a big push for us. We just saw that, you know, the new, like, especially with Unity, the new OpenXR is essentially replacing OVR, replacing Steam, replacing everything, and it needs to also become and continue to be modular. So I have high hopes for it. Everything we do, we give lots of content back to Unity. We give lots of content back to Unreal 2. We built a lot of content for Microsoft for like the content to be able to share error description files between multiple devices. We did that for Tango too, but who remembers Tango? You know what I mean? And it's a big focus to us as we continue to innovate and create especially on the WebXR front. It's very important that we as developers find ways to encapsulate that code base and give it back, give it out, release it for free, release our GitHubs, but even more importantly, beat our feet to the path of getting Microsoft, Google, Apple, Facebook knowledgeable and have it in their hands so not only can they implement it, but they can't own it. And I think that's very important. We as a community need to push for that OpenXR, one metaverse that is open and no one rules. I think that's a very important thing. And as the hardware continues to evolve, it's the people in this room, it's the tip of the spear developers that are agile enough to create and see the forward thinking. And so, I lean that to you too, is to do your best to try to, don't keep it all under your thumb. Find pieces of what you're doing and be able to give it out and share. Lex.
Beautiful. Yeah, my name is Lex. I'm a co-owner of one of the largest location-based entertainment centers in Los Angeles. I also have my own studio, White Label AR. Two questions. One for Jonathan. We've tried a lot of stuff with VR, and I really want to know how you're essentially making it work, with in terms of onboarding and cleaning, and the VR just seems to be the lowest profit center in a lot of our facilities. And Finn, I've been following your career for some time. I've seen you essentially grow Chicken Waffle into really a AAA studio. Tell us kind of how we can start working with you. What does the timeline look like? How do we get started? Where's the cost? Kind of give us a little bit of a little insight.
Sure.
Sure. Thanks for the question. So essentially, simplicity is the key. So simplicity for the operator, but simplicity also for the user. The simpler it is, the better, and the faster, and also the more profitable. So because you're cutting cycle times. So compared to other attraction manufacturers, which sometimes need up to 10 minutes, 5 up to 10 minutes, to put all the technology on the user's body, we go for a simple approach. So you have the headset, you have the earphones incorporated, and at most you have a controller, but that's even just for the shooter games. So most of our games under the family-friendly category, they don't have a controller, and that's a competitive advantage because more devices, more things to clean, more things to charge, and more things to break. So plus a really good onboarding of the operators. So we have a train-the-trainer program whenever we install globally, mostly in Middle East and the US. These are our biggest markets. We actually go there ourselves and we train the trainer in order to make sure that obviously often these operators, they are, let's say, seasonal workers, so that there's at least one person within the client's organization who really knows the system and can train somebody else. Typically, it takes half an hour. I mean, in the trade show next week, where we're going to be in IAPA Orlando, we have brand ambassadors who are getting up to speed within half an hour, and that's our goal. So yeah, and then additionally, when you talk about profits, obviously it's driven about how much tickets you sell, and then what's the ticket price, and how often do the people come back. So I mean, I would love to chat with you as a follow-on this, but yeah, it really depends on which target audiences you're after.
Yeah. Yeah, and for us, chickenwaffle.com, easy to remember, tasty to eat. Feel free to come by our booth. Like I said, get some cool stuff. We have contact form on chickenwaffle.com. Plus, we're giving away some custom gear, Alienware gaming computers, as well as custom Quests and Valve indexes. Yeah, indexes, I guess, is multiple index. And so, yeah, jump out, reach out, join our beta. We'd love to have people like you playing our content, giving us feedback. That's how we improve and grow. And we're hiring. So if you're a wizard / ninja / sorceress, please reach out. We're looking for more talent and would love to talk to you. I think that's all the time we have, but please come to our booth in the playground and we'd love to show you the cool stuff we're doing. Thank you so much.